For years, Barnwood Builders has been more than a renovation show. It's been a celebration of grit, history, and the people who bring forgotten structures back to life. And among the fan favorites, one name always stood out: Jett. Quiet, skilled, and deeply respected, he became a familiar face in West Virginia's rugged landscapes and in viewers' living rooms. But then, around 2020, something strange happened. Johnny seemed to vanish from the spotlight, and a shocking rumor began to spread, one that left fans confused and worried. Was it true? Did something happen behind the scenes? Today we're digging into the truth. What really happened to Jett, and why did his story take such an unexpected turn? Stay with us as we separate fact from fiction and uncover what fans were never told. Jett was born on May 24, 1949 in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up in a time when life moved slower and community meant everything. Raised in a close-knit family, he was taught early on the values of hard work, honesty, and respect for what you earn. His parents, Jean Jett and Leota Hawkins Jett, emphasized responsibility and self-reliance, principles that would quietly shape the man Johnny became. His father lived a long, full life into his 90s, while his mother passed away in 2010 at the age of 79. Johnny grew up alongside his brother, William Eugene Jett, whose death in 1994 marked a profound loss in his life. Later, losing his mother only deepened that sense of absence. Still, Johnny never allowed grief to derail him. Instead, he carried those losses with him as motivation, honoring the people who believed in him by continuing to do what he loved. In many ways, he later found a second family through Barnwood Builders, where the bond among the cast became just as important as the work itself. Each member filled a unique role, and Johnny's presence was one fans couldn't imagine losing. Even as a child, Johnny stood out for his creativity. He loved building and fixing things, fascinated by how broken objects could be brought back to life. At just 10 years old, he famously asked his father if they could tear down an old structure on their property and rebuild it, a moment that revealed both his curiosity and his instinct for craftsmanship. His parents encouraged that passion, and it quickly became clear he was meant for more than an ordinary path. After finishing school, Johnny pursued a career in construction, where his dedication and skill immediately set him apart. But for him, construction was never just about putting pieces together. He saw artistry in every beam, joint, and board. Over time, his ability to blend function with beauty earned him a reputation as a true craftsman. He wasn't afraid of hard labor, and he paid meticulous attention to detail. Everything Johnny worked on carried his signature touch: care, pride, and a quiet excellence that turned simple structures into something special. As Johnny's reputation as a master craftsman continued to grow, new opportunities began to open beyond traditional construction work. In the mid-2000s, he was approached by producers developing a new television series called Barnwood Builders. The concept was simple but powerful. Follow a team of skilled craftsmen dedicated to preserving America's pioneer-era structures by giving them new life. Set primarily in West Virginia but spanning locations across the country, the show centers on a crew led by Mark Bowe, the founder of Barnwood Living, and a craftsman deeply committed to protecting American building heritage. The team specializes in salvaging 19th-century log cabins and barns, carefully dismantling them piece by piece and reconstructing them in new locations. Their work highlights the beauty, durability, and history of reclaimed wood, as well as traditional building techniques that have largely disappeared. Jett quickly became an essential part of that mission. One of the team's early projects involved dismantling and relocating a historic log cabin from Buchanan to West Virginia, a process that demanded precision, patience, and deep respect for the original craftsmanship. Johnny played a key role in both the deconstruction and reconstruction, ensuring that every beam and joint was preserved. Later, the team moved on to Parisburg, Virginia, where they salvaged an 1800s barn and transformed it into a modern home. Once again, Johnny's expertise was central, especially in restoring and integrating the barn's intricate wooden details. What set Barnwood Builders apart from typical renovation shows was its philosophy. The work wasn't about quick makeovers or cosmetic fixes. The team treated each structure as a piece of living history, carefully salvaging hand-hewn timbers and aged wood that carried stories of generations past. These reclaimed materials weren't discarded. They became the foundation and soul of custom-built homes. Viewers were drawn into the meticulous process, the careful dismantling of barns and cabins, the balance between efficiency and preservation, and the creative ways old materials were repurposed. The craftsmanship on display was striking, and Johnny's steady presence embodied the spirit of the show: respect for history, pride in hard work, and the belief that old structures still have meaningful stories left to tell. But Barnwood Builders has never been just about hammers and blueprints. What truly sets the show apart is the way it uncovers the stories behind every salvaged structure. As the crew works, they often discover details about how a barn was once used or the family who originally lived in a cabin. These pieces of history add an emotional layer to each project, turning simple restorations into meaningful acts of preservation. The real transformation happens when those carefully dismantled materials are woven into new builds. Weathered barn beams become kitchen countertops. Hand-hewn timbers find new life as exposed ceiling beams, quietly carrying the stories of generations past. The brilliance of the show lies in how seamlessly it blends old and new, creating homes that are modern, functional, and rich with character. At its core, Barnwood Builders is a celebration of American heritage. It honors traditional craftsmanship, promotes sustainable building practices, and reminds viewers that history doesn't have to be erased to move forward. Each project leaves the audience imagining a home that tells a story, where the past and present exist side by side. When Jett joined the crew, he brought more than experience. He added artistry, depth, and personality. Viewers quickly connected with him because he wasn't just a builder, he was a storyteller. His role became central to the show's success, especially when it came to detailed restoration work. Johnny often handled the most intricate elements, ensuring the historical integrity of each structure remained intact. His artistic touch, seen in custom carvings, finishes, and creative woodwork, added a unique signature to many projects. Just as important was Johnny's humor and down-to-earth personality, which brought warmth and authenticity to the screen. As the show's popularity grew, so did his fan base. Audiences were drawn to his humility, skill, and genuine passion for the craft. Since Barnwood Builders premiered in 2013, first on the DIY network, and later on the Magnolia Network, Jett has remained best known for his role on the series. While he hasn't appeared prominently in other television projects, his presence on Barnwood Builders made him a standout figure in reality television. Although Jett has not appeared as a regular cast member on television shows outside of Barnwood Builders, he and the rest of the team have made occasional guest appearances on related programs and network specials. These appearances were typically tied to promotions, crossover features, or behind-the-scenes looks at the craftsmanship and restoration techniques that made the series so popular. Johnny has been featured in several DIY network specials over the years, many of which highlighted milestone projects, offered deeper insight into the crew's work, or showcased moments fans didn't usually see on the main show. When Barnwood Builders transitioned to the Magnolia Network, Johnny and the team also appeared in promotional content and special features designed to introduce viewers to the network's renovation-focused lineup. While his television presence has remained closely tied to Barnwood Builders, Johnny's influence reaches far beyond a single show. His skill, creativity, and personality earned him a loyal fan base, solidifying his reputation as both a master craftsman and a beloved television figure. Though there are no major TV roles outside the series credited to him, his impact on the show and its audience has been undeniable. Johnny's rise to fame wasn't driven by ambition or celebrity. It came from his genuine passion for craftsmanship, his respect for history, and his deep connection to the team he worked alongside. Viewers saw in him the values of hard work, humility, and tradition, qualities that many associate with the foundations of America itself. His talent was impressive, but it was his authenticity that truly resonated. Despite his popularity, Johnny has remained grounded and true to his roots. He continues to work on projects that inspire him, guided by the same love for building and restoration that he discovered as a boy. Then, in 2020, a shocking and completely unfounded rumor began to circulate. One that claimed Jett, a fan favorite on Barnwood Builders, had passed away. The rumor spread quickly across social media and online forums, causing real distress among fans and sparking a wave of confusion and concern. Before long, it became clear that Jett was very much alive, and that the entire story was nothing more than a hoax. The incident served as a stark reminder of how easily misinformation can spread in the digital age, and how quickly false narratives can gain traction online. The claim appears to have started with an online post alleging that Johnny had died under vague, unverified circumstances. With no credible sources or official confirmation, the post should have raised red flags. But Johnny's popularity on Barnwood Builders helped it spread rapidly. His warm personality, craftsmanship, and humor had earned him a devoted following, which made the emotional impact of the rumor especially intense. Complicating matters, Johnny's naturally private lifestyle meant there was little recent public information about him, making it harder for fans to immediately dismiss the false claim. As the rumor gained momentum, fans flooded platforms like Facebook and Twitter with messages of shock and grief. Hashtags such as hashtag RIP Johnny Jett and hashtag Remembering Johnny began circulating, further amplifying the misinformation. The original post was shared thousands of times, and fan pages unknowingly repeated the false news, deepening the confusion. Eventually, an official response was needed to stop the panic. The Barnwood Builders cast and the DIY network moved quickly to address the situation. Mark Bowe, the face of the show, personally took to social media to reassure fans that Johnny was alive and well. He shared a heartfelt message condemning the false reports and expressing concern for the distress caused to both fans and Johnny's family. Bowe even included recent photos of Johnny, effectively putting the rumors to rest and restoring calm among viewers. The DIY network soon issued an official statement confirming that Johnny Jett was alive and well, firmly dismissing the death rumors as completely false. The network encouraged viewers to rely on credible sources and to avoid sharing unverified information. Not long after, Johnny himself addressed the situation in his own way, with humor and humility. In a short video posted to social media, he thanked fans for their concern, reassured them that he was in good health, and confirmed he was still hard at work on Barnwood Builders. With a smile, he joked that reports of his death had been greatly exaggerated, putting many anxious fans at ease. The hoax, however, sparked wider conversations. First, it reignited debate about the responsibility of social media users and the platforms themselves in preventing the spread of false information. Critics pointed to the incident as a clear example of how quickly misinformation can snowball, causing unnecessary panic and emotional distress. Many argued that stronger safeguards are needed to stop unverified claims from spreading unchecked. The rumor also drew attention to the growing trend of celebrity death hoaxes. Johnny Jett was far from the first public figure to be falsely declared dead, and these incidents often carry real consequences, not just for fans, but for the individuals and families involved. In Johnny's case, the hoax highlighted how invasive and damaging such false narratives can be, even when they are eventually disproven. Ultimately, the incident became a lesson in media literacy. It underscored the importance of verifying information before sharing it and being mindful of the real-world impact of online rumors. The swift, transparent response from the Barnwood Builders team and the DIY network showed how effective clear communication can be in stopping misinformation. By addressing the rumor directly and providing proof, they were able to calm fans and limit the damage. Johnny has often expressed gratitude for the opportunities he's been given and the people he's met along the way. For him, the journey has never been about fame. It's about doing what he loves and staying true to who he is. That, in his eyes, is the real reward. Beyond construction, Johnny Jett is also a talented painter. His artwork reflects a deep appreciation for the rustic beauty of the American countryside, frequently featuring barns, cabins, and quiet rural landscapes. Much like his work on Barnwood Builders, his paintings capture the spirit of rural life and historic architecture. Known for their rich colors and careful detail, his pieces evoke nostalgia and a strong connection to America's pioneering past. Fans and collectors can view and purchase his artwork through his website, johnnyjettart.com, which serves as an online gallery and a window into his artistic journey. While Johnny is a familiar face on television, he keeps his personal life largely private. He is married to his wife, Jett, and together they have a child. Little is publicly known about his family by design, a conscious choice to preserve a sense of normalcy away from the spotlight. What is clear, however, is the strong bond they share. Donna's quiet support plays an important role in Johnny's life, especially given the physically demanding nature of his work. Her presence helps him maintain balance between his career and his family. Johnny Jett's story is one of passion, craftsmanship, and authenticity. From humble beginnings to becoming a beloved television personality, he has proven that dedication and staying true to one's values can lead to a deeply fulfilling life. He stands not only as a master craftsman, but as an inspiration, on and off the screen.